Boundaries is something that we need to discuss because we are not taught how to set boundaries when we were young. This person is right next to you in the bed. They still sleep because 5 a.m. is not their wake up time. Okay, that's not their goal. It's yours. How can we let other people know what our boundaries are without saying, this is my boundary, right? This is going to depend on you, boo, okay? Do you need the money? Do you want the money? Is money a priority to you? Like, get your point across in a way that is Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I'm your host, Marissa Tong. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode this week. We are continuing our self-love series for the month of February. Happy Valentine's Week. Happy Galentine's Week. Whatever it is that you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, you're just like, this is all bullshit. That's cool too, okay? But this month we're focusing on self-love, self-care, building confidence, building our self-concept, building a better relationship with ourselves. So I'm your host, Marissa Tong. I don't think I said that yet. Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time listening, hello. On this podcast, we talk all things self-care, entrepreneurship, adulting, fitness, dance, wellness, travel, everything in between, anything that goes above and beyond the surface. I'm someone that doesn't like surface level conversations and I hate small talk. So I like to get real. I like to get deep. So if you are also on that vibe, then you tuned into the right show. All right, y'all, let's dive right into today's show. So today we're going to be talking all about boundaries, one of my favorite topics to talk about. Now, we've had previous episodes talking about boundaries in the past, and you can always go and listen to those if you'd like to, maybe after this one. However, we're going to be diving into boundaries even more. I don't think it's ever a bad time to talk about boundaries. I don't think we can ever talk about boundaries too much, especially as women. If you are a woman listening to this show, boundaries is something that we need to discuss because we are not taught how to set boundaries when we were young. All right, so let's talk about it. So first of all, let's dive into what is boundaries? What is a boundary? Why are we setting them? Why do we need boundaries? So I want to start by saying boundaries are for you. They're not for other people. So when we talk about boundaries and we talk about people setting boundaries, or if you ever hear someone saying, this is my boundary, blah, 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 I think a lot of people use the word boundary in a way to sometimes manipulate people or sometimes to keep people out of their lives or out of a certain space or out of a certain conversation. I think it's easy to end up using the term in a way that might be harmful or not so nice to other people. And I'm not saying that boundaries are meant to make everybody feel good. I think a lot of people are going to be offended when you set boundaries for yourself. I've seen it. I've noticed it. I've also gotten offended with other people setting boundaries, but at the same time, I also realize, okay, that's their boundary and that's on them, and I'm going to respect that. So when it comes to boundaries, we put them in place for ourselves to protect our peace, to protect our energy, to protect what's ours, to protect our space, our peace of mind, our mental health. These are the reasons that we set boundaries in place. Also to respect ourselves, to allow other people to also respect us, and for other people to learn how to treat us. So in my last episode, we talked a little bit about treating yourself with love, with respect, with dignity, like a princess, however you want other people to treat you, specifically when it comes to romantic partnerships, right? So if I'm treating myself like a queen, if I'm showing up for myself, if I'm giving myself the best treatment, the best quality of life, I'm allowing myself to get 8 hours of sleep every night, I go to the gym. Why would I want to be with someone who disrupts that? Why would I want to be with someone who is not also prioritizing maybe those same things as far as like lifestyle wellness, right? When we're getting with someone, and this is why like choosing the right partner is really important, and we'll talk about this in another episode, and I'm sure we've touched on it in previous, but it's really important for us to choose the right partner that aligns with the life that we are currently building, okay? Sometimes we might still be in this place of not having boundaries, not having a routine, not having standards for ourselves, so we end up attracting people who are not really matching up with the person that we're becoming. So maybe you do want to become a gym girly, maybe you want to become a Pilates girly, maybe you want to just, I don't know, live a better, healthier life. And you end up meeting someone who doesn't really support those things. And it's not that they don't want you to do them, but because they don't have the understanding, the knowledge, or the respect for those things, they're not going to respect when you do them. They're not going to push you to do them. They're not going to value those things in the same way that you do. So it's really important that if we are dealing with someone who maybe doesn't have the same standards or lifestyle or priorities as us, that we set those boundaries in place, right? I'm sorry, babe, you cannot come over at this time because I signed up for this class. I'm sorry, I am unavailable to go to dinner this day because I'm going to get a massage, right? So these are ways that, number one, we can show up for ourselves and continue to exude self-love, right? And to really make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and respecting our space, our peace, our needs, and our boundaries, but also allowing other people to see that we're not joking. We're not playing about our boundaries. This is where I'm at. This is the life that I need to live. I don't want someone who's coming into my life where I'm going to compromise the life or the schedule or the routine that I'm trying to build, and not saying that we can't be flexible in life or that we can't meet people where we can sometimes compromise, even though I hate that freaking word, compromise. Where? Let me stop. I'm all for compromising a little bit. Okay. But it has to make sense. It has to make sense because we'll dive into that a little bit. But what I want to say while we're on the topic of compromise, I find that when it comes to compromise, when we're talking about relationships specifically between men and women, I think that women most of the time end up compromising way more than men. Okay. So a man will ask you to do something to compromise with them, but they're not really compromising. They're not really losing sleep. They're not really adjusting their schedule, their routine, their lifestyle. Nothing's really changing with them. But when it comes to women, we're the ones that are compromising, right? So, not saying again, all women, not saying all men are going to do this, but this is just something to be aware of. So, when we hear that word compromise, think about where it's coming from and why it's coming from that place and who is it benefiting, right? Compromise has to benefit two people. If it's not benefiting two people, it's not a compromise. So, if you are compromising for the benefit of one person, for them to get what they need, for them to get what they want out of you, it's not a compromise. It's not a compromise. You're just lowering your standards, sis. Okay. So, getting back to boundaries, right? So, how can we set boundaries? How can we put them into place? How can we let other people know what our boundaries are without saying, this is my boundary, right? Like, we don't need to verbally say those words. Like, I don't think saying this is my boundary needs to be a thing, but there's a way that we can just show by action. There's a way that we can clearly just say whatever our boundary is without saying this is my boundary, right? For instance,
Yo, 2025 just started and it already feels like it's been like 5 years. I desperately need a break, and I feel like so many of y'all also are feeling the exact same way. So, I want to invite you on my next couple of retreats coming up for 2025. This is really, really exciting. So, we have 3 retreats coming up. Let's talk about the first one. So, we have the Phoenix Rising retreat that's going to be in Sedona and Scottsdale, Arizona from March 13th to the 17th. So we're going to be spending 4 nights, 5 days in the desert, soaking up the sun, but also deeply transforming into the next version of ourselves. I am super excited for this. Registration is closing very soon. So if you're interested, make sure you grab your spot as soon as possible. We're getting close to retreat season, boo. Okay, so these Flight prices are about to hike up. We just need to make sure we have our ducks in order. Okay, where are we going this year? Let's manifest it. Let's write it down. Let's book it and put that deposit in. So, the second retreat we have going on is going to be in Greece. This is the goddess retreat happening in Mykonos and Andros. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Andros, it is a hidden gem in Greece, okay? It's beautiful, it's tucked away. It is the authentic Greek experience without all of the high tourism and craziness happening in certain parts of Greece. So we're going to be splitting our time in Mykonos and Andros. Really excited for this. This is going to be a chance to connect with your feminine energy, to connect with nature and the ocean, and to really just get back to you, to your beautiful self. And our last retreat happening is going down August 8th to 11th in Seattle, Washington. And this is going to be a retreat specially curated for women of color. Now, 2025, honey, we already have so much going on, especially with this presidency. Let's just be real. And I think that women of color, specifically Black women, really need to protect their peace and up their self care this year. So, this one is for y'all, babes, okay? The unmasking retreat. This is an opportunity to remove the mask, show up fully as yourself, authentically heal, get within community, really have fun, and prioritize your health, wellness, and joy. Again, this is happening August 8th to 11th. Now, this one is application required, so you can head to our website, fill out the application, and if you want to drop your deposit, if you come in, girl, and you fit them qualifications, then let's go, okay? Let's book it. Put yourself first. February is all about self-love. It's all about self-care, and it's all about tapping into you. So let's get back to the essence of ourselves. Let's love on ourselves, and I'll see you guys wherever we're going.
Say that we'll stay on the topic of dating. So say that we are dating someone new, right? And they're over your house. It's a weekday. Let's say it's a Wednesday night. And you know that you wake up or you've been getting into waking up every day at 5 a.m., right? You're like, this is the time I want to wake up. This is the habits that that girl has, right? I'm trying to become that girl. This is what I'm trying to do right now for me. So boo's over, right? He's trying to stay over, spend the night, blah, 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 whatever. And you're like looking at the time, it's getting close to like 10 p.m. And you usually go to bed around 10 p.m. Okay. So what are you going to do? Are you going to allow him to stay, possibly compromise the hours of sleep that you're putting in, even though sleep is a priority for you? You know that you need at least 7 hours of sleep, right? Or are you going to say to him, look, sure, you can stay over? I don't know. I said a new situation, I think, but like, we don't need to be inviting, new people to stay at our house overnight, okay? But let's say that this is a boo that you've been dating for a couple weeks and, maybe he slept over before. I don't know, okay? Whatever the case, whatever the situation, are you going to say to him, honey, I need to wake up at 5 a.m. So if you'd like to stay and, you're welcome to get some sleep, some rest with me, that's cool. You can sleep on the couch, but I'm going to go in my room and I'm going to go to bed because this is a promise that I've made to myself that I'm going to wake up at a certain time so that I can get my day started and I can feel my best tomorrow, right? Or are you going to sit there and say nothing? Are you going to allow him to stay? You're going to stay up late. Maybe you end up going to bed, I don't know, 12. Now it's almost 1. You're looking at the clock. You're stressed. You don't want to say anything. You don't want to speak up for yourself because you're having such a good time. And you don't want to make him feel uncomfortable. You don't want to make him feel bad, right? Again, this is just an example. It could also be a she, okay? She, they, him, her, whatever, okay? But you don't want to make them feel bad. So now you've held your tongue, okay? Now next day comes, your alarm goes off at 5, you're feeling groggy, you hit that snooze button. Alarm goes off again, you hit the snooze button. Alarm goes off again, you hit the snooze button. Now it's 6 o'clock. You're waking up at 6 o'clock. This person is right next to you in the bed. They still sleep because 5 a.m. is not their wake up time. Okay, that's not their goal. It's yours. But now You've compromised on your goals because you wanted to make this person feel comfortable. You wanted to entertain this person. You possibly wanted to please this person. You don't want them to think you're so rigid or that you're so strict. But this is the thing. This is where you went wrong, honey. If you would have told them that night what your boundary is, what your bedtime is, I'm pretty sure they would respect that. And if they didn't, that's not the person for you. We mentioned this in the last episode as well. Like, if someone is not willing to meet you where you're at and they're not willing to treat you and respect the life and your standards and everything, your morals, your values, everything that you have in place for yourself, then that is not the person for you. And there is always someone out there who is willing to treat us the way that we deserve to be treated because we are queens and princesses, okay? And kings. If you're a king listening to this, you too, okay? This goes for everyone. So if you would have just said that one sentence, I need to go to bed by 10 p.m. You didn't even have to say anything after that. He could have made the decision, right? Again, if you wanted to leave it up to him, or you could just simply ask him to leave because you want to go to bed if it's a newer situation, right? Or if it's a situation where you feel comfortable with him sleeping in your house, it's also something that could have been said, I'm going to go to bed. You're welcome to stay, but this is what I need to do for myself. So it's as simple as that. So that's what it really means and looks like to set a boundary, okay? It's about just being really clear, not beating around the bush, not being scared to speak up for yourself, not being afraid of making someone else feel uncomfortable or upsetting someone or making them feel like shit or making them feel like they're not important. And I think us women, we have to stop doing that. We have to stop always considering other people's feelings before ourselves. That's where we fuck up. We're considering everybody else, what everybody else is going to think of us, how much people are going to think, that we're such a bitch. Oh my God, she's such a bitch because she told me she can't do this. Oh my God, she's such a bad friend because she can't take me here. She's such a bad sister because she's not picking up my call right now. Like, we allow the stories, right? And again, these are not even things sometimes that are happening in real time or real life. We're assuming that people are going to feel this way about us. We're assuming that people are going to hate us. We're assuming people are going to be mad at us, right? And with that assumption, now you are lowering your standards, right? You're not putting your boundaries in place. You're lowering your self respect and you're not staying true to who you are. And the formula for living a happy, peaceful, productive, and healthy life is being true to yourself and sticking to the things that you said you were going to do. Sticking to the things you said you were going to do. Doing the things that are going to make you feel good. Doing the things that you love. Setting up your life the way that you want to set up your life. With self-love also comes a little bit of selfishness, okay? And I know we don't always like that word. I know we're always a little skeptical about that word, and we're taught that it's a bad word. And it could be. I think we can use that in good and bad terms as far as, describing someone or something. I think you could be negatively selfish, and I think you could be positively selfish as well. So which one are you going to be? And which one are you going to decide that your actions are? Are you going to decide that you're being selfish because you're tired and you don't want to go out with your friends and you think they're going to be mad at you or not ask you to go out again? Okay, and if they don't what? If they don't what? Right? It's not like you can't ask them like, "Hey, do you want to go out?" It's like, why do we need to depend on other people to ask us to do things and to go out? So I just want us to think about that, right? What are your current boundaries? What are some current things that you have been compromising on where now it's causing you anxiety or it's causing you stress or it's allowing you to just be upset with yourself, right? Because you haven't put the boundaries in place. Another example, let's talk about work. Okay, setting boundaries at work. So say that you start this job. Let's say it's a part-time job. Okay. You start this job, you set the amount of hours that you're going to be working, the days that you're going to be working. You have a set schedule, whatever, right? Your boss comes to you, "Hey, can you work? I know you don't work this day usually, but can you work this day and can you work a double? Right. So not only am I being asked to come in on my day off, but I'm being asked to work a longer shift. Right. So my boundary would be, okay, let me check in with myself before even giving this answer. I think sometimes we're so quick to want to get back to people. We're so quick to want to give people an answer. We're so quick to not want to be someone who's saying no, right? It's like, oh my God, me saying no is such a bad thing. I don't want to be a no man. I want to be a yes man, right? So, first step I would take is let me think about it. Let me get back to you, actually. Let me check my schedule, okay? This is what a queen does. A queen is not just saying yes to anything and not checking what's going on with them. No, I'm going to convene. You know how people are like, let me check with my husband. Let me check with my wife. Same thing. Let me check with my damn self. Okay. So now you go, you look at your calendar, you see you have a full day of things going on. Okay. You're going to the gym, you got that on the schedule. Going out to lunch with your friends, okay? Then you are, I don't know, going to the movies, you got a dinner date, whatever, whatever. Then you just want to have like a chill night at home, okay? So you have a whole day planned out for you, but you're being asked to come in on your day off, double shift. Now, this is going to depend on you, boo, okay? Do you need the money? Do you want the money? Is money a priority to you? Like, how important is that to you to work that shift? Now, if it's for some people, it might be a quick yup. Yep, I'll work. Yep, I need the money. Okay, I got to pay these bills. For some people, it's going to be more like, no, this is my day off. This is the day that I devoted to myself. I've already made commitments. I've already made plans with other people. So actually, no, I don't want to work, right? So it's a matter of coming to that decision. And then now, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to relay this information to my manager who's asking me, right? And I think this is where we get a little shaky. It's like, oh my God, I can't possibly tell my manager no. I can't possibly turn down this opportunity. I can't possibly turn down money knowing deep down inside you don't even want to work. Okay, you don't even need that money right now. I mean, we all need money, but you know what I'm saying, okay? Maybe you got paid a little extra something last week from your side gig and now you're feeling good. Okay, that's why you were going out with your friends to celebrate. But now you're being asked to work another shift that you don't even want to work. Okay? So what's it going to be, sis? Are you going to set your boundary and let them know I'm unavailable? I'm so sorry. I checked my schedule. I'm so sorry. I can't, and let's take out the sorry. Okay. I'm thinking about my friend Jess. Shout out to Jessica Tellian, a Stronger You podcast. She always reminds me, like, if I'm ever saying I'm sorry, and I used to say this to like some of my friends all the time back in the day, like, why are we apologizing? Why am I saying sorry? What did I do wrong? Why am I sorry that I cannot show up for this shift when I wasn't scheduled? So that's going to be another thing when it comes to apologizing and setting boundaries. It's like, are you sorry for having a boundary? Are you sorry for setting your standards? Are you sorry for showing up for yourself? What are you sorry about? Who are you sorry for? So that's something to also consider when we are setting boundaries. An apology doesn't need to be necessary. Okay. And unfortunately doesn't need to be necessary. I be catching myself all the time when I'm writing emails because I'm always like, wanting to write something to make the other person feel better or to make them feel comfortable. This is also something that Black women have to deal with all the time, like making people feel safe. Oh my God, having people not feel like we're upset or that we're the angry Black women or that we're going off on them. Like, why do I need to adjust my tone or my words to make you feel comfortable when I'm clearly just stating whatever is happening, right? I'm not going off on you. I'm not cursing at you. So why do I need to feel like I need to bring down my communication to make you feel safe or comfortable? So when I'm writing emails, sometimes I'll find myself saying, apologies or unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, why do I need to add those words? This is just what the case is, unless it's something where it is my fault, where it's a business transaction or I'm providing a service and the service wasn't able to be rendered, whatever the case. And you have to know when and where is the right time to be apologizing and saying sorry. But a lot of the times, us women, we're saying sorry way too much. Way too much. You're saying sorry because somebody held a door for you and you went through it? What? What? is going on? You're saying sorry because someone bumped into you? You're saying sorry because you took a seat that you saw this man standing next to and you thought, oh my God, I'm sorry because I took the seat. Girl, sit down. What are you talking about? Okay. This is something that I like to talk about when I have my confidence coaching mentees. Okay. The idea of like, just stop being freaking apologetic about everything. We need to be unapologetic. If you guys missed my episode, I don't even know what episode it was, but in the YouTube video, I have on like a red shirt and braids, but it's about being unapologetic and, unbothered. Come on. Like, why are you allowing every little thing to bother you? Why are you allowing everybody's feelings or projections to bother you? Girl, set your boundaries, set your standards, protect your peace, live your life. Okay. Do the things that are going to make you happy, do the things that are bringing you genuine peace. Live your life authentically and stop apologizing, okay? Set your damn boundaries. Another example, I'll give you guys one more before we wrap up, okay? Another example of setting boundaries.
Oh my God, y'all. So I just bought a brand new pair of professional dance heels from Burju Shoes, and I am completely obsessed. These are not only fashionable, but they're completely, absolutely comfortable. They're so lightweight, they fit my foot like a glove, and my feet are just completely happy. Versus when I first started taking heels classes and teaching heels classes, I was just picking up random heels from department stores and they were killing my feet. My feet would be swollen, I would have blisters, they would scuff up the floor at the dance studio. So I'm so happy that I came across Burju shoes. These are without a doubt the best heels in the industry, and a few celebrities including Chloe Bailey, J-Lo, and Megan Thee Stallion have been spotted wearing these during their big performances, so you know they're good. You absolutely need to invest in yourself this year and stop wasting your money on shoes that will only last you a week, girl, okay? If you're looking to level up and get into your heels bag and, just build your confidence, you're gonna need the right shoes. So these shoes will completely level up your dancing and help build your confidence because you're not worried about how your feet feel. Me and my clients have been wearing Burju shoes for a few years, and I'm honestly never gonna switch back. Like, I would never switch back to a department store heel, okay, honey? These shoes are lightweight, stylish, durable, and they come in a variety of different heel heights and styles for every different type of dance. The service is incredible, and if you need to exchange a size, they'll quickly help you do that. I do recommend ordering one full size up since these shoes are meant to hug your foot. So check out the amazing selection at burjushoes.com. Use my discount code RISFITKitty. That's RISSFITKITTY to save some cash on your next purchase. And let's get to dancing.
Let's say people wanting to hang out with you. Okay. Maybe you're someone who is in a community, you just joined maybe like a new community, or you're in a community and, someone comes up to you, they're maybe trying to get to know you, or they see that you're new in the community and they want to hang out with you. Right. And maybe that person is just not someone that you see yourself hang out with. And I think that's okay, especially if you're someone who's an empath. We pick up on vibes and energy, and I'd be spotting, people in the room where I feel like, okay, I can vibe with them. I can vibe with them. Like, she's cute, like, I don't know. But we're not going to vibe with everybody. That's just human nature. We're just not going to vibe with everybody. I think that's okay. So say that you have someone trying to hang out with you, trying to make plans with you, keep asking you like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and deep down inside, like, your gut is telling you like, no, don't hang out with this person. Don't hang out with this person. This person is giving weird vibes. I don't know. There's just something about this person, not your people. Like, let's just not. Okay. Let's just not. So you get this intuitive nudge, right? But you're just not sure how to relay that message, right? In a way that's nice or respectful, because we still do want to be nice and respectful. Okay. Setting boundaries doesn't need to be in a mean or harsh manner. Okay. We do not need to be mean to people when we're setting boundaries. It's a really nice, respectful, and graceful way to do it. Okay. So, you're probably wondering like, okay, how am I going to turn down this invitation? I don't want to hang out with this person, right? Well, again, you take the time, you check in with yourself, okay? Step 1 in boundaries, there is no rush. There's no rush. Why do we feel the need to get back to people so quickly? Give yourself time, okay? The first step in boundary is letting them know I'm not going to give you an answer right away and I need to think about it, you know? And for some people, honestly, you don't need to think about it because you already know. Okay, I think that's another part of like trusting yourself and just getting to that self mastery place, right? Just having that self mastery where it's like, I know that this is a no, so I'm not even gonna waste no time. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. I'm not even gonna play the back and forth. Like it's a no for me, dog. And then you just figure out how to say it right there on the spot. However, some people need a little bit more time to think about how their approach is gonna be, how they're gonna say it, how they're gonna not hurt this person's feelings, whatever. Or maybe they are genuinely thinking about hanging out with this person, right? So once you have had that time with yourself, that moment to really think about how I want to say this, how I'm going to approach this, then you go and you just speak your piece. And that's it. And you don't feel bad. Okay? Whatever that means for you, like whether that needs to be through a text message, unless this is a breakup, okay? Don't be breaking up through text. Don't be talking about Marissa told you to send a text to break up with this person because I did not say that, okay? What I'm saying is, if you feel like you're someone who's non-confrontational, sure, okay? Send the text message. Send the voice note even. That's a little bit more personable, okay? They get to hear your voice. So send the voice note, send the text, I don't know, send the email, whatever it is, but get your point across in a way that is very blunt, right? It's black and white. This is my answer. You don't have to give a reason. You don't even have to give a reason, okay? Rule 2 with boundaries, you do not need to explain your boundaries. You do not need to explain why you are setting your boundaries or whatever it is that you are choosing to agree with or not. You do not need to explain yourself. Okay. And as women, we need to get better at that. I do not need to give an explanation about why I'm choosing to opt out of this thing. It's a personal reason. It's a personal reason. Okay. So get more comfortable with just stating your piece, saying it like it is. Okay. And again, not in a rude way. I'm not saying that you need to be nasty to people. There's a nice, respectful way to handle things, but let's stand on business in 2025. Okay. We're not showing up to things that we're dreading. We're not doing things that we don't want to do because we feel like we need to do them or we want to people please. Like people pleasing days are over, honey. We're not doing that. Okay. We need to stop. If we are doing that, we need to stop it. Okay. If you need to book a session with me, honey, let's book it. Okay. Let's book the session. I got you. Okay. By the end of that hour, you were going to be like, "Ugh, I can't believe I've been settling on all this bullshit all this time." So if you guys are interested, you could definitely book a session with me. If you guys have like my Comey link, I don't know if I put that in the show notes, but I should. This is like a reminder to myself. But my Comey link, it has like all of my links and bios. You can also schedule a one-on-one session with me. And it's under Pick My Brain because it could be pretty much anything. So yes, we can do confidence coaching, but also if you just had questions about like business, entrepreneurship, setting up a podcast, hiring a team, going through a breakup. I don't know, girl. Okay. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, if you feel like I can give you insight on that, if you've been listening to the podcast or watching my YouTube for a while and you're just like, I feel like she has insight on this thing or she's doing something that I want to do. And, I maybe don't want to pay like $1 million for a coaching course or, not with me. I'm not charging $1 million, honey. But if you don't want to pay all this money for like a course or a program, I get it. Okay. Maybe it's just a one and done thing. You want to pick my brain. You want to talk about it. I got you. So you can hit the link in the show notes to book a session with me. But other than that, y'all, I just want to encourage y'all to continue to show up for yourself. Okay. This month, February, let's make it a priority to take care of ourselves, especially this week. Valentine's Day is this Friday. No matter what you're doing, if you're celebrating with a boo, if you're celebrating with your pets or by yourself, whatever it is, love yourself. Love on yourself, okay? Do something nice for yourself. Treat yourself, whatever that means for you. It could be a massage, it could be a bottle of wine, it could be a box of chocolates, it could be some white cheddar popcorn. White cheddar popcorn, bro? Yeah. Okay. Whatever that looks like for you. Beyonce tickets. I heard she's going on tour again. I don't even know when them tickets come out, honey, but yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple, please feel free to leave us a 5-star rating and review. I would appreciate that so much. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this conversation today. Drop a comment. I don't know, throw me some hearts. Okay, it's February and I'm feeling lovely. Okay, I just got my nails done red, you feel me? So drop a comment. Show me some love in the comments. Share this conversation with a friend. And if you guys are following us over on Instagram, feel free to share one of our clips to your story and tag us so that we feel the love and we see that you guys are loving and supporting the show. And if you guys are not following us on Instagram, follow us. Let's Just Be Real Pod. My personal is Wristfit Kitty. Again, everything is linked below. And I can't wait to chat with you guys on another episode. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye.